Sure, let's do it. We're waiting on you now. After Burn Gold and Lothair, looks like we're missing.
All right. We're still kind of waiting on the lobby to get sorted out here. We're missing a player. There's Discord issues, but I think we'll just kind of fill some time here and talk about, Matt Bam's coin toss and then maybe how our lives are going for a little bit here.
Sure.
So, in terms of coin toss, Wildheart Gaming winning the coin toss, opting to go with first pick. I'm going to pop over to the map selections here and give you guys a chance to look at what's going on. We do have Hanamura and Alterac Pass being banned out by Wildheart Gaming. Phoenix Rising Topaz taking away Volskaya and Dragonshire. And as Wildheart Gaming is going for that first pick option, map pick over to the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz, opting to bring us to Towers of Doom for game number 1. What are your thoughts, Dax?
Sorry, I was just reading a message in here in the chat. Towers of Doom. Usually this is the comeback map, but a lot of teams, this is generally like a double soak map. Teams have their strats, and this is one where you can kind of get a good domination here in this one and kind of set the tone for the rest of the match. Hanamura, it's the new map. It's into this season here. Not probably being played. I've seen a couple games on it, but it's probably just one of those maps that just kind of that last bottom rung map that gets kind of rotated in and out each season.
Mm-hmm. Looks like one of the players is having troubles logging in tonight. I don't know, a lot of stuff seems to be down tonight. I heard Twitter issues, Discord issues, now someone can't log into BNet. But hopefully that all gets sorted soon and we can get into game number 1. How's your evening going so far tonight, Dax?
So far so good. Playing some Storm League games. That's kind of always a fun time. But so far so good. Just kind of excited to have the night off from any team practice and stuff like that. So we're just in here playing some fun quick match games and Storm League games, but ready to get into some heroic action hopefully here.
It would be a shame if they're late and end up having to forfeit, because I want to watch these matches. It's supposed to be a good matchup here where it's heroic division, so you always get to see these like cool comps coming out with wombo combos and all kinds of good things to watch. So hopefully we can get this last player in and actually watch these games tonight. It would be a little anticlimactic to start this up and be like, okay, GG.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it does happen, technical difficulties. But like you said, heroic division, a lot of the fights are pretty decisive compared to maybe some of the lower leagues where the fights go on a little bit longer and a little strange stuff kind of happens. But yeah, it's looks like someone, like you said, someone's having a little bit of a technical difficulty with HOTS the game at the moment. So give them a few more minutes here before we'll probably have to pull the plug. See, I don't know if it's way too late to get an off roster sub here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he logs in. If not, maybe we can look and see if there's another game that doesn't have a caster that we can pick up and switch over to, so at least we're getting something done tonight.
Yeah, we got to give the people the best bang for their buck here. Like you said, everything's booted up. We're ready to go. So we just want to see some cool games. Like even if we get some ARAMs going, I'm all about that.
So how's your day going? What have you been up to today? Anything of note?
No, I played hooky from work. So I was a lot of my work can be work from home. I work in sales, so a lot of it's phone calls. So I do try and limit my travels throughout the week. So just kind of stayed home today, a little later day for me. How about you? What's going on out there? The West is the fire's calming down, the bright red the smoke and all that good stuff calming down for you guys?
Yeah, I've had a good last 3 or 4 days. Clear skies, nice air to breathe. Air quality is great right now. It's been a nice break, and it's starting to cool off as well. So it was a couple weeks there straight of just always having smoke in the air, and then on top of it being so hot, and we couldn't open up the house to let it cool down or anything. But the weather's been amazing. The air's been great, so it's a nice change.
Awesome. Like, have you guys gotten any like relief, any rain at all? I know the temperatures you said were dropped, but any rain for you?
Not really. I did go out the other day at like 4 a.m. to let the dog out, and it was like just this like really light mist coming down, but not a
Nice.
real rain or anything, but still something to add a little bit of moisture. I still have my garden going too in the back, which is really neat.
Yeah.
So I'm trellising watermelons and cucumbers all up over my greenhouse structure. I put like trellis netting covering the entire thing, and I had climbing roses on one side, but now that we're kind of into September, they're dying off for winter. But my watermelon and cucumbers are still climbing, and so they're just sugar baby watermelons, so they don't get too big, but I've got a few of those coming in that are looking pretty darn good right now.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Looks like he was able to join in here, so looks like we will get some sweet
Woohoo!
heroic action going on. But yeah, I think I talked to you a little bit about my garden. I think I got maybe like 2 tomatoes. My corn kind of died halfway through growing. The stalks are nice. I mean, they're nice and tall, but I really didn't get any corn. And my pumpkins, like the vines are just going crazy. Have some blossoms, but nothing really too big yet. But
you know what you should do, because probably pumpkins and like watermelon, cantaloupe, they're all kind of the same. If you look at the base, you can tell whether it's one that'll become a pumpkin or whether it's just a flower, and you can pollinate them, so you have a better chance of yielding something off your plants. If you just take like a Q-tip into the flower and rub it back in the flower that actually has like the fruit underneath of it.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I usually just kind of let that up to the bees.
Yeah, I tend to too, and that's why I planted a bunch of flowers this year, but I feel like the bees have kind of tapered off towards this part of the season because it's starting to cool down a bit, so... So I've been Q-tipping it to get some more yields off my watermelon.
All right, so it looks like we're getting ready here in the chat. The captain whispered me. I told him that we were ready here.
All right, here we go.
Hop in this draft.
Of course, we have Wildheart Gaming on the left-hand side. Phoenix Rising Topaz on the right. The last heroic game I casted with Wildheart on Sunday, they had mixed up the lobby team side, so when I got in here, I'm like, this isn't right.
At least they asked this time. I know they were probably polite. Like, hey, is this right this time?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking here at so far what these teams have been playing this season. Not a lot of double soakers here. I mean, I do see the Rel in the off lane here from both teams, so maybe that'll be a first pick, first ban priority. But perfect Zol map, Leoric map, Malthael map, and that's kind of the name of the game here.
Now that is definitely a target ban out onto AoE rules. Pretty well known for playing his Vala. The other heroes that I've seen him pick up is the Valera, as well as Sylvanas. So maybe we'll see those.
Yep, 50% win rate on the Sylvanas. I didn't see the Vala coming up, but again, if he's known for it, probably banned week in and week out.
He actually does a really different build too. He does Caltrops with her. And then yeah, it's different. See, AoE Rules was doing a lot of the in-houses that I was running, so I got to see him play a lot in there. So a lot of people in chat criticizing his Vala build, but at the same time, he's sitting as like GM number 65, so something must be working.
Yeah, he's doing something right. And then I was actually one of I think it was one of the in-houses I was able to catch. I think they said there was the Koreans actually started that Caltrops build and getting a lot of value out of it. So just, something over here that maybe that he's taken a liking to and seems to work for them over there. And move it over here. And then the Diva ban, first week here, Diva and Gaslow getting the free reign to be picked up in these drafts.
Yes, and I haven't seen either of them getting picked up yet. The other thing I was going to say, I think with Vala, there's just a few different builds you can go, and it completely changes how you want to play her. So I don't know. Sometimes you start playing a hero and you get used to playing her a certain play style around a certain build, and I kind of understand that with Vala.
See, for me, I like the auto attack build. I know most people go multi-shot, or if it's on BOE, they go the Q build. But I just kind of like just picking all the trait
I
talents and
love
auto
Q
attacking.
build.
Hmm.
I almost when I play Vala, I almost exclusively go Q build because I like just being able to blow someone up.
Makes sense.
Anytime you're ready.
Now that Garrosh and Raynor getting picked up on the side of Wildheart Gaming here, so they're still looking to grab that healer. Phoenix Rising Topaz has their healer locked in, needing a tank right now. So, of course, we're going to see the Anaban on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz, taking away one of the healers from Wildheart Gaming. And I expect to see a tank ban here, unless they're going to hard focus AoE rules and take away his Valyra, because they already took the Vala, now they took the Sonya. And it's going to be the Zool.
Yep. So they don't want to deal with any of that double soak action from Zool here. So they didn't ban away the ETC. I was expecting the ETC, but we could see a Johanna here. Both tanks really good at eating those Garrosh tosses and getting out of there with their life. But ETC could work well into the Orphea, and then Whitemane just wants to play a little bit defensively. Good defensive healer, so maybe not too engagey. So we could see the Johanna here, I think.
Urel getting picked up, followed by the Lunara on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. So Urel definitely a bully in these lanes. Not as strong in the double soak as some other solo laners, but definitely able to keep up in terms of like keeping them in the lane and bullying them a little bit on their rotations. So I think she can work here.
Yeah, I expect a Leoric here. I mean, Leoric does pretty well, especially come 4 with Neo Peasants to get that wave clear really going. But I like this a lot. We got McNulty picking up the Illidan here, and then Stukov on that Dope Monster. So they're going full Garrosh toss into that Silence and into the Raynor and the Chromie blow up here. I'm still looking for a tank here.
Are we going to see Illidan double soaking, or are we expecting to have like the Raynor rotate up to catch soak sometimes for him? It's just a really interesting pickup. It's always when teams decide to take an offlaner that is not beefy enough to stand up and be a second frontliner for like zoning around these objectives and stuff. It's really exciting to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, Illidan can do it. Maybe they just swap Raynor out. Maybe Raynor goes Exterminator and does the double soak and just kind of poke Urel from a distance.
Yeah, I feel like Illidan would be able to sustain okay, and he's probably will be able to clear the lanes into a Urel. But like I said, it's just like those team fight situations. What happens around altars and stuff when you want to try and channel it and there's still members up is typically you have your tank positioned in a way to block off one choke point where the enemies could be funneling through, and your offlaner bruiser in another spot where the enemies could funnel in. And when you have an offlaner that's not a bruiser, not a little bit beefier, it's a little bit harder for you to kind of control around objectives.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to say because they're going to try and get the pick. So maybe Illidan jumps on the back line there. Whitemane not necessarily having the solid route. Johanna doesn't have any CC until necessarily 10. She can kind of be annoying with the blinds onto the Illidan. And then I think outside of Urel, Trait and Hammer to deal with him on the back line. I think he's kind of going to be a nuisance and allowing Garrosh to step up.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a ton to shut him down here. Urel can kind of knock him back, and Johanna condemn, and if she wants to use a Blessed Shield,
prepare yourself for battle.
There's that, but I don't know. The other thing, too, though, Illidan onto the Orphea is just really... it should be okay for her to just land chomps and get the cooldowns if she goes for the level 7 talent and sustain against him just as well. So I'm interested to see if he tries to target her, how that matchup's going to play out.
10 seconds.
Ultimately, I think it'll be a little bit harder for the Orphea because he'll be flipping around and
5, 4,
all over the place, and she really comes down to how well she lands her skill shots. But it's still going to be fun to watch, I think. On the left-hand side, Wildheart Gaming with McNulty on the Illidan, Lupus on the Garrosh, Dope Monster on the Stukov, Tempest playing the Chromie, and Brown Bala on the Raynor.
All right, and over on the red side, we have AoE rules on the Lunara, Mayari on Whitemane, Afterburn on Johanna, Golden on that Urel, and Lothair on the Orphea.
All right, so caught by Wildheart Gaming, already going for that rotation into the bottom lane. We've got about 25 seconds here before the siege can't spawn in, and we could see some fights over them.
Yeah, and I like the combo of the Lunara and the Orphea. Orphea's going trait build at 1, so all of just the auto attack slows coming out from AoE rules here. It's just kind of going to boost Orphea's damage here in some of these team fights.
Garrosh looking for the flip. He does find it onto Joanna, lands the stun, but his team not anywhere near to follow up. Time trap used by Chromie. Lupus getting a little bit caught out here. Is he going to be able to back up to survive here? Stukov dropping that silence, but unfortunately, just not going to be enough to get the Garrosh out of there. He does fall. First blood going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz.
Yeah, great body blocks by Afterburn there, not really allowing the Garrosh to kind of get out of safety there and allowing the team to seal that kill there. And we're going to see the invade here onto the Sapper camp.
Garrosh is back up here and available. They're not really shredding this camp too fast, so they could still invade here, and it does look like Garrosh wants to do just that. He's running straight for this camp, getting on the point and positioning to ensure that he can control this. Brown Balla getting caught out a little bit, though, taking quite a bit of damage. And it's going to be the the Lunar that finishes him off with the help of the White Mane, though. The camp does go over to the side of Wildheart Gaming, and the chase is on for the rest of the members here as Illidan has come down to join the fight. They need to be a bit careful. Each team's getting a little bit poked down, so it really could go either way if they continue in the engage. And it looks like they're just going to decide to try and walk in these pumpkins as much as possible and get the soak from bottom.
Yeah, great counter engage there to like not allow them to invade that camp. And we do have Chromie going W build at 1, 4 stacks, about 2 minutes into the game here. We're going to see AoE rules cap their own Sapper camp here as they push in. Lucas getting really low again, kind of catching a lot of this poke. The Garrosh kind of falters, but AoE rules getting kind of low there. Mayari getting low, step forward a little bit to try to get that healing off. But White Mane does White Mane thing. She's going to laugh her way out of there, and they're going to actually pick off Lucas there on the Garrosh.
Yeah, unfortunately, just the slows coming out from the Lunara definitely not helping Garrosh do what he wants to do. He steps up to try and get throws, and then he's just kind of stuck slowed, or he's getting slowed while walking in to get these throws. So I kind of like this pickup from Phoenix Rising Topaz, sorry.
All right, and we're going to see the first objective here, the triple. Usually we see the trade up top, and then whoever can get there first. Which, you know, later on with Hunt, if Illidan goes Hunt, he could be that pseudo-global to kind of edge these fights a little bit earlier. We're going to see White Mane get tossed in there by Lupus, but not enough poke damage coming out. Brown Balla getting low, need to back out there. Joanna stepping up, condemning, Unstoppable being popped by Lupus again. And I think we're going to see the zoning here.
AoE rules just sitting on the back line on the flank there, just pumping out damage onto Brown Balla the entire time with no one even bothering to turn and try to hit him. Just a little bit of lack of focus. She's kind of getting away with too much, I think, right now.
Yep, so go Nature's Calling. She's going to have that increased camp clear and, wave clear as well here. And then she's going to go Splintered Spear here, which is a good pickup here. So allows her to get a couple more poisons and slows off AoE-wise. But AoE's going to get tossed up, but pop the Unstoppable there and just continue getting that poke onto Lucas there.
Tempest running low on mana as well is going to have to either tap or back soon to get topped up. We are going to see him Hearth here, leaving it as 3v4 in the bottom lane in favor of Phoenix Rising Topaz. We are 32 to 36 shots right now on core. It does look like Wildheart Gaming going to pick up their siege camp now, while Garrosh stays in the bottom to catch the soak. Afterburn on the rotation though, looking to grab this camp away from Wildheart Gaming. This is a 4v4 though. They are aware what's going on, so in comes the Garrosh, and he's just taking so much damage so quickly. Is he going to be able to sustain through this? Yep. They do get the pick onto the Orphea. Garrosh has that ticking damage on him though, and there's no heals on him. He's turning back around to try and get one of Stukov's pustules, and he does get the heal off. They get the pick onto the Joanna, and down goes the White Mane as well. They manage to take that siege camp in the process, not even losing the Garrosh.
Yeah, absolutely. What a silence coming out there from Dope Monster to just cancel all the damage getting dumped onto Lupus there, and enough to make that space so he can stand back up, get that Q off, and just keep Lupus alive here. So we're going to see the invade here coming out. We may just see the Gentleman's Trade up top where these two split, but they're going to take this camp down here. I want to take a peek at the soak here. Pretty even between Illidan and Yrel here, both about 7,000, about 5.5 minutes into this game, but we're going to see a collapse here mid, where Lothar is a little bit slow on the rotation here. We're going to see those that front wall going down here, about half of it, and they're going to cancel the rest of those sappers.
Wildheart Gaming Well, I mean, they're pretty even on XP here, so level 10s are going to come online at about the same time.
Yeah, kills even 3 to 3. I said both teams are going to hit 10. It looks like Phoenix Rising's going to hit 10 here first, but shortly after here is Wildheart Gaming.
All right, we do have level 10s online now on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Crushing Jaws coming out from the Orphea. Ardent Defender from the Urel. Blessed Shield from the Joanna. We have Divine Reckoning being picked up by the White Mane, and then the Leaping Strikes from the Lunara.
Yeah, Leaping Strikes, I think, is the good pickup here to try and just disrupt that Chromie. Don't let her just stand in the back and poke with her Qs and Ws. We're going to see Toss coming out onto Johanna, Unstoppable Beam Pop, and then with the Dem, try to pull these people together. Lothair just doing a great amount of work on that Orphea. They're just getting Qs and keeping the distance from Lupus here, hoping that she does miss a Q and gets stuck there. Just Toss in there.
Hunt comes out from the Illidan now. Backline getting focused down. He's on that Orphea, chasing him down. Lupus getting quite low. Is he going to be able to sustain through the fight this time? As here comes the Urel joining the fight now. They manage to get the pick onto the Stukov and then chases back on now onto Wildheart Gaming. Down goes the Garrosh, followed by the Raynor. Now Illidan getting caught a little bit out. He's not going to be able to escape here. Tempest stepping up a little bit. Lunara wants her. She does manage to get that ticking damage onto her. So she's going to fall as well. 5 members down on the side of Wildheart Gaming.
All right, a team wipe there in favor of Phoenix Rising. They're going to go ahead and take this bottom camp here and then defend it. They're going to sway another shot in favor for themselves with this cap here.
I was just going to say, we're talking about Leaping Strikes. The other nice thing about that is she gets that Unstoppable off that, so if she gets thrown in by Garrosh, if she's quick about it, she might be able to use it as an escape after getting tossed in if she's caught out of position.
Yeah, just hopefully she can get there before that Stukov silence, because that can be pretty oppressive.
Yes.
Now, we're going to see Illidan. I thought he was going to maybe try and solo that boss. It's something he should be able to do sneakily, so I'll just keep an eye on Illidan there. He's just going up there to, you know, just continue the double soak thing. Urel looks like she's down bottom here, just trying to pressure Wildheart Gaming off of their bell tower, and we're going to see Lothair try and catch some of that double soak.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of tosses going out onto the Joanna, and that's just the one target you don't want to be tossing into the back line. It's the target that's going to be hardest to kill. Now here we're going to see the Garrosh fall again after throwing the Urel into the back line. She did pop her Ardent Defender to survive the damage from the wall there. But I think if he can just find any other target aside from the Joanna, they might be a little bit better off.
Yeah, I think White Mane would be probably the best. She has the least amount of mobility there, because, like you said, Lunar can do the Leaping Strikes. I mean, Urel can just trait and E out of there. Even Orphea, if she can land a Q, she can kind of just place herself kind of out of harm's way. So
I mean,
yeah,
we're going to see Chromie getting picked on a little bit here. Pops that stasis and going to get herself healed up, and she's okay. The other thing, too, is it just could be that the Joanna is playing such a good game, stepping up and eating the tosses every time and protecting her team. So it's a cool tank matchup to watch. See Urel getting caught here. Out goes the stun. She knocks away the Garrosh. Not going to be tossed this way, but now super low for this engage over this mid altar. Garrosh getting quite low. Pops is unstoppable to avoid getting stunned by the Crushing Jaw, but out comes the Blessed Shield. He is looking to retreat here. Joanna getting a little bit caught out, and she's going to fall. 1 member down on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz for now. Stasis comes out from the Chromie. Unstoppable being popped, and out comes the Leaping Strikes on to the Illidan. AoE rules, trying to get that kill. Not going to find it, though. We did see the Orphea fall. Now the White Mane getting picked off as well. Wildheart Gaming looking to secure this altar phase. Maybe take back their bottom... Maybe take back their bottom keep if they have time, but instead they're just going to take it here.
You know, they did, it was a triple kill in favor of Wildheart Gaming there, but they were able to get 3 of those sappers in, so it was literally a 3-for-3 trade for both teams here. Just 3 kills, still 3 kills up in favor of Phoenix Rising, but XP is getting closer and closer here as teams inch closer to 16s.
Just want to take a look at that soak again. Illidan now sitting at about 14.5k soak to Urel's 12, a little over 12k.
Yeah, Orphea did split in there a little bit. I mean, Illin's kind of doing the soak thing for the entire team here. We're going to see the little bush gank here down in the bottom. Chromie just finishing that W quest, just getting so much chunk damage out. But I want to go back to that team fight there. Just a great job and great concentration by Lupus there to just wait for that URL jump into on the back line, trying to just secure the kill onto that Rainer, and then just throwing URL back out, and then just being able to turn around and just focus. Because at that point, then it was just Johanna by herself in the back line, and then just to get that pick.
Level 16's coming up soon here. Both teams pretty even on XP. Maybe Wildheart Gaming slightly ahead, going to hit it first here. If they can manage to catch the soak still, but it's going to be pretty even. We are 20 to 29 on core damage as well in favor of Phoenix Rising Topaz, but really a close game so far.
Yeah, really back and forth. Now we'll see 16s come online here now. I know 16 and 20 are both really good power spikes for Lunara's damage here and that poison damage, but Stukov does heal pretty well into that. Let's see Lucas check that bush there and see Johanna kind of staking that out a little bit.
I'm watching this 1v1 top right now. Illidan and Yrel fighting each other. Illidan has that siege camp pushing in. Let's take a look back down here bottom where the 4v4 is going on.
All right, and McNulty was able to bait that ult from Yrel there with no, absolutely no hailing back from her. She's gonna have to waste her tap. But McNulty's a little bit low as they fight over this objective here. McNulty's getting a little bit low, trying to get out with his life. Golden's gonna chase, maybe try and leap on this mid wave here.
Sorry, and the 4-man Whitemane just getting absolutely deleted after being tossed in by the Garrosh. Rest of the team following up with all their abilities, taking her down, followed by the Lunara. So 4-man, one down below by Wildheart Gaming, while McNulty did his thing top, distracting the Yrel for enough time. Call is out now to invade this siege camp. And maybe we're going to see bottom bell tower getting picked up by the side of Wildheart Gaming. Got another 15 seconds until Lunara is up, another 3 until Whitemane is up if they can manage to push this out. It might also look to pick up their other siege camp here.
Yep, we're going to see both sapper camps getting picked up by Wildheart Gaming here. They're going to shove these in, try and recapture the bell tower of the opponent's side this time after recapturing theirs right before the objective here.
There we go. Tunnels are open, so that's up and available for the members if they choose to use it to get to objectives faster later in the game. I'm going to pop up and take a look at this solo lane matchup again. McNulty and Golden fighting it out up top here. This feels like McNulty's never afraid.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, as long as he can dodge that hammer, I mean, he can stick to Yrel pretty well and just land some of those auto attacks.
Yeah, a lot of mobility to dodge a couple of Yrel's abilities coming out. Can I say abilities one more time?
All right, but like you said, very back and forth here. We're seeing Lupus kind of getting poked down here a little bit in that bush.
Garrosh is just feeling so squishy in this game.
When I play Garrosh, I just feel like he's always squishy. Like I feel like I can't step up at all. Like I'm at half health, if not a quarter health. Just kind of need to be mounted more often and kind of hiding in bushes versus playing him as a normal tank, as a normal frontliner.
All right, altars are up. Tempest channeling that middle one now. Looks like Lothar coming in to the interrupt here. Garrosh down below just trying to zone some members, but now the rest of Phoenix Rising Topaz turning onto him. Lunara getting hunted. Or sorry, Orphea getting hunted, and she does fall to the Illidan, and now Yrel the target here. A little bit of a split going on with these team fights. Lupus getting quite low, lands a toss onto Joe, but she pops her trait, and she's going to be able to walk back out. Oh, out comes LaRue onto the Lunara. She uses that unstoppable Illidan going in to try and secure the kill on her. She tries to use her leaping strikes to escape here, but she does fall. Afterburn getting chased down, and that's going to be the Joe Anna getting picked off as well. They're going to secure this bottom bell tower before going to grab bottom altar.
Yeah, 3 kills to none, and I'm not sure what the call was there because Golden did peel away, probably looking ahead here to try and just try and catch back up in soak and get those 20s for a leader team fight here, because it is 17-16. They could have afforded to give that one there. Like I said, it's pretty even now, but 4 more shots. I'm sorry, 5 more shots in favor there. So now it is 16-12. Boss is still in play. That would put them at maybe 2 bell towers if Wildheart Gaming is.
Urel, look at this, taking this camp, but Illidan catches it. He is able to stop the cap for a second, but unfortunately Urel knocking him off the point, and the sappers do go over to the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. They are looking to secure this middle bell tower now, and probably go back to defend the bottom one, maybe pick up their siege giants along the way here. This game has been so even for so long, all of a sudden Wildheart Gaming just showed up and had that 2-level lead on Phoenix Rising Topaz, hitting those level 20s first. Phoenix Rising Topaz still almost an entire level off of getting their 20s online. Here comes Garrosh looking for the toss. He manages to land the stun onto Lunara. The root silence from the Stukov there. She does pop the Unstoppable, is able to walk away. Joanna using her trait here, looking to back up as well. And here's Illidan, 5 members of Wildheart Gaming around to secure and keep this bottom bell tower from going back over to Phoenix Rising Topaz.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a decision here. Mid is where they're going to focus back on mid, so they can kind of rotate somewhere else on the map for this objective here, so they don't have to go all the way top and back down. But McNulty kind of getting dunked on here a little bit underneath the bell tower, and he is going to fall here as Phoenix Rising takes back the middle bell tower there. But Wildheart Gaming getting 3 of those sappers in, and they are down to 9 points on their core to 16 here. But they're going to have the team advantage 5-4 here as they rotate up.
I think they're going to go for the boss here. There's no point in them trying to do 4v5 fights down in the bottom altars. They can grab 4 shots here. That's what they would have gotten trying to fight at an altar anyway. And then they also take a win condition off the map from Phoenix Rising Topaz doing this.
Doing the boss here, they're going to get 8 shots onto the core here. So, I mean, it's going to be 8-5 here. So this match will come down to most likely the last objective here.
Yeah, really, really scary here. But what a close match, as we've been saying. Level 20 is now up and available on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. They are pushing in, maybe looking to take this bottom bell tower while waiting for the Illidan, but Illidan has that hunt up in 7 seconds that he can use, and they need to be careful about taking too much damage from the keep. Out comes a Crushing Jaws, connects onto the Stukov. He does use his Unstoppable there, looking to back up. Trying to keep the hand. Out comes the hunt from the Illidan. They get that pick onto Orphea almost instantly here. Urel doing what she can to knock back the team and stop the chase, but Wildheart Gaming wants blood. They are looking for more.
Yeah, they have to back off here. They can't afford to lose anybody else, but we're going to see the dive. Beautiful hammer coming up from Golden, but he is unfortunately not long for this world here. And we're going to have to see Wildheart Gaming here. They're going to go for these sapper camps. They're going to have to take this bell tower here if they want the win with this single objective here coming up in about 30 seconds.
It does look like bottom bell tower next objective here. Illidan going to push out mid lane. He does have hunt up in 30 seconds, and that's about when we're going to see the members of Phoenix Rising Topaz spawn back into the game. So not too worried about being down members, just looking to get more pressure in these lanes. They're going to grab, Illidan's going to grab that siege camp on the side of Wildheart Gaming. Rest of the members just looking to defend this bottom bell tower now. It is still spawning in, so it's not going to be doing any damage onto Phoenix Rising Topaz quite yet. And next objective is in the bottom here. This will be 5 shots on Phoenix Rising Topaz's core if they do not manage to defend this one.
Yeah, and with that camp, that's going to put Phoenix Rising between a rock and a hard place here. They're going to have to defend these sappers and get this, but we're going to see McNulty just be able to channel this objective, and we're probably going to see GG's coming out here with a swipe, and they are our last shots, and there go GG. So as we see Orphea get taken down right before the buzzer.
Yeah, no, fantastic job there at the end by Wildheart Gaming, ensuring that they zoned out all the members of Phoenix Rising Topaz from that last objective. Yeah, what a close match. What an exciting game so far. Let's take a look at these the match summary here.
Yeah, like you said, really back and forth. 14-10 on the kills. Damage really close. Soak really close for both these teams. I'm just trying to pinpoint at what point, because like you said, it was kind of most of the beginning of the match did seem to go over in Phoenix Rising's favor, but then at some point around level, I think 16, the team fights just kind of came online for Wildheart Gaming, and it just kind of started, the momentum kind of picked up in their favor, and they were just able to finish it out there.
Look at this siege damage and XP soaked coming out from the Illidan on this map. Like, top the charts here. I mean, Urel not too far behind on siege damage, but quite a bit behind on the XP soaked. So I would say that matchup pretty cool. Worked out pretty well for Wildheart Gaming.
Yeah, it's not one that you normally see. Usually you want to see like the Malthiol or, some other maybe poke damage into the Urel. So just something to keep in the back pocket there. Looks like this pretty standard Illidan build there as well. But just being able to hunt in and kind of, finish off those last little bits of the people and kind of just get in Whitemane's face there. I know I saw in the chat that, they weren't going to have too many issues to deal with that Illidan. And unfortunately, I think that's kind of what happened as well.
All right, it does look like we have Phoenix Rising Topaz going with the first pick option here. So this map, we are going to Braxis Holdout, picked by Wildheart Gaming. I'm wondering if they have some kind of strategy that they like to run here. As Braxis is not typically, one of the favorites.
Yeah, this is not one of my favorites.
Just quickly, Smiley, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. I see you were casting, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at these map selections. Give the viewers a chance to figure out how we got here, what's going on so far for tonight. First game played on Towers of Doom. That map picked by Phoenix Rising Topaz, but won by Wildheart Gaming. And let me just quickly update the score.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of those ones where it's going to be, McNulty and Golden in the top lane, duking it out again. So I'm wondering if we'll see some Rexar here. Sony is good here as well. Just duking out, because that's generally, I think, where a lot of these maps are, this map in particular is won or lost is usually in the offlane, on whether or not your offlaner can win that lane, and you don't have to send somebody up top to put your 4-man at maybe a disadvantage there. But we can see, up here in Heroic, we could see some Maiev, some Genji, some other heroes, some Phoenix, Sylvanas, who can make those rotations pretty easy and make their way back down.
All right, well, they're already asking for the readies in chat, so I'm going to go ahead and tell them that we're ready. But once again, first game, won on Towers of Doom by Wildheart Gaming. Second game, going to Braxis Holdout.
And, Cam Clear is really good on this map as well. I know, like, in the lower leagues, like, the camps are kind of a second thought. But I've actually seen some maps on Braxis be won or lost by the team that kind of got all the camps and got that macro pressure with those camps.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing about Braxis is watching the offlane matchup, because you really do need to be able to win the lane as opposed to just match them and get the soak there on some other maps. So I always like checking that out. And like you said, camp pressure, if you can get some members to kind of rotate and grab camps for your solo laner, that adds even more siege damage and pressure in the top lane for the solo laner to help them out. Also, really great thing to do is to grab your bottom camps if you manage to get a pick early on in this game. So we'll pay attention for that as well.
Yeah, and whoever's on the right side, which it will be Phoenix Rising, they typically, if they can grab that, they can have a little bit better pressure in the bot lane, because they have the bruisers pushing bottom, whereas the left side will have the bruisers pushing top in the solo lane. But we're going to see Sylvanas out of here. I know that's a target, like you said, target ban onto AoE rules, but she's really good. She can take Merc Queen and get, like you said, extra push value out of those camps.
I'm wondering if they're going to ban the Vala here or not. I mean, Vala, her best option for Braxis and Wave Clear is going W build, but I have never once seen AoE rules go anything but his like Caltrops weird like Q
I'm sure they can get value on the point. I mean, everybody has to fight on this. Gul'dan's good on this map. Phoenix is good. This is very sustaining. Deckard's a good healer on this map as well. You kind of want heroes that don't have taxing mana pools. And then we're going to see Garrosh getting picked up here, switching sides for Phoenix Rising this time. And then, Urel switching sides as well. And then Greymane getting picked up this time. Banned last game. So we get to see Brown Bala on that Greymane. And again, camp clear. He can solo both camps come level 4. Maybe a little help from the healer there. But, great camp clear coming out on the side of Wildheart Gaming.
Yeah, I just love a Greymane player in general these days.
You know, I picked up the Greymane in my new role. It seems to be Raynor, Greymane, and Sylvanas are the three that I kind of picked up, and then they kind of fit into all the team comps. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
you
the
can do
thing
anything.
is those heroes, they don't really give away a ton of what you're drafting. They're just pretty decent heroes to pick up for your DPS
Yeah.
role without like saying, hey, we're obviously going for this kind of comp.
Yeah.
But we have the Deckard and Mephisto picked up by Phoenix Rising Topaz, and next out we're going to see the Raynor being banned out. So that Vala's probably not happening here, as AoE did lock in the Mephisto, but that doesn't mean that we might not see some role swaps if they think it's okay later in the draft after seeing more of Wildheart Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good Kel'Thuzad map. You know, you got 4 people down in the bottom. It's really easy for him to catch his stacks early. Can be really oppressive, especially into Deckard when he doesn't have a cleanse himself. But we're going to see Junkrat really good in the current meta in the higher ends in the competitive scene. Probably going trap build to get a lot of that extra damage, and then ETC getting picked up as well.
Any sliders in the chat?
ETC is so good right now. Like even that nerf onto Encore is just, well, I think it was at 2% is still oppressive. But we're going to see Golden picking up that Sonya here, going to be able to trade into Urel, so he's going to have to watch for those hammers. And then the Janus, we're actually going to see that double mage here, which isn't too bad because we're going to see probably some blow up here coming out, if not, you know, just a good route coming out from the Mephisto into, you know, Jaina Blizzard and all that good stuff. So they have the pick viability here, they have the wave clear, and then they also have you know, just overall just damage for the team.
Yeah, I mean, and another hero that's melee and needs to stand close to other heroes to spread heals. Yeah, Durance could get some big value here. Like, I just imagine ETC sliding in, the rest of the team diving in to follow up on that, and then Endurance coming out catching everyone with the blow up from Jaina as well. Maybe even a ring follow up.
Yeah. But like you said, they want to kind of just destroy one person over there. Junkrat catches somebody in a trap, ETC slides, Greymane dives in with a Stukov silence. It's, you know, they need to watch their rotations, they need to watch their positioning on the side of Phoenix Rising. But I think generally I like the team fight better on Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing throwing me off a little bit is the double mage, because you don't typically see it, but I think here that it could be quite well. It's not like they have a tank that has spell armor or anything like that. They don't really have spell armor at all on the side of Wildheart Gaming. And ETC too kind of struggles into a lot of poke damage. Like basically, playing ETC is hard because when you engage, you have to be getting the pick, because you can't do this dance around of like, am I going to or not going to engage, because you just end up getting poked down and then you can't engage at all. Like you have to make decisive calls on him. And with 2 mages, I'm interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, because Mephisto, depending if AoE talents into it, he does get percent base damage at 16. But I will say Deckard is their only source of Mosh Interrupt at 10 with the Stay a While and Listen.
Well, they could also Garrosh can Unstoppable and throw him,
That's true.
or land a Q on him. Deckard, yeah, the Stay a While and Listen,
10 seconds.
and Sonya can land a Spear. They have some tools. But let's get into this. Wildheart Gaming on the left-hand side, up 1 game in the series with Lupus on ETC, Dope Master playing Stukov, Brown Bala on the Greymane. We have Tempest playing the Junkrat, and McNulty playing Urel.
All right, and over in the red trunks for Phoenix Rising Topaz, we have AoE rules on that Mephisto, Golden on the Sonya, Afterburn on the Garrosh, Lothar on Jaina, and Myriel. I'm sorry, I am butchering that name, on the Deckard. Myri, I think.
I feel like I'm having a little bit of deja vu. I don't know if it was Wildheart Gaming last match that I saw come to Braxis Holdout, and they did this whole swap the lanes and just trade forts in the early game. But they are looking to try and get a pick onto Golden, and I don't know if Golden is aware that they're all sitting here. I mean, he is hanging back, doesn't want to step out.
The hammer, yeah.
So I think he kind of knows that they're around looking for the pick. And here's ETC showing himself, but unfortunately unable to find the power slide onto Golden. They are going to rotate now, look to help out in the bottom lane as they have left junk. Oh, actually, they're going for the Bruiser camp.
Yeah, they're going to do what they can, I think, to just help McNulty out here in this trade. Sonya is, you know, both these heroes here in the offlane are just both really, really good right now in the current meta. But we're going to see maybe just the pressure keep pushing top. They're going to have to respond, so they're grabbing their bruisers as well as we're going to see 4 people rotate up.
Look at this rotation, power slide out onto the Mephisto, followed up by the silence. And he's just stuck in there. Down goes the Mephisto. ETC getting tossed over, though, onto the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz's top fort, looking to try and get out of there. Power slides out, but the chase is on, and he just goes down to Jaina.
Oh my goodness, just the inch there, that Jaina Q to slow him down enough that she could step up and get that cone of cold off to secure that kill. But great team fight there, 1-to-1 trade a little bit. Soak in favor right now of Wildheart Gaming, but we're going to see the cap going over to Phoenix Rising.
I mean, Wildheart Gaming still has a little bit of cap on it. They managed to get to 26%. So now pretty even on objective percentages here, 26 to 22 in favor of Wildheart Gaming, and they are looking to contest this bottom point now as Sonya takes back top. Interested to see if they're going to... Looks like they've pinged to go for the camp here. Yrel is managing to take back top, and now we're 26 to 48% of this Zerg wave channeled in favor of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Siege camp is capped, and now, again, both points controlled by Phoenix Rising Topaz's first Zerg wave. Looking pretty strong for them so far, but out comes the damage. Power slide onto the Garrosh, getting caught in the silence. And they do manage to push their way back onto the point for Wildheart Gaming to cap this bottom point. 84% completed on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Wildheart Gaming looking to get some objective themselves here.
Yeah, I think Garrosh, come later this game goes, the more harder of a time Garrosh is going to have. He's going to try and avoid all of that Junkrat poke, and then come
power slide goes out onto him. Greymane looking to finish off the kill. They have the silence underneath him, but the knockback from ETC kicks him out of the silence, kind of helps him out. Still managing to hold this point for now, but Garrosh stepping onto the objective here, looking to take it back from Wildheart Gaming. Top right now, Sonya in control there, Yrel having to back. All right,
and that
Garrosh.
body blocked in the slide there onto the Garrosh in the bottom. Not unfortunately have enough wiggles to get out of that one there, but as I say, great heals by Decker there in that that previous team fight there just to keep Garrosh up.
So Stukov doing a beautiful job of following up on these power slides with the silence almost every single time. ETC just needs to be a little bit more careful that he's not using his face melt and knocking them out of the silence after power sliding them, because that's happened a couple times now. We do have an aggressive rotation coming out from Wildheart Gaming, deciding to rotate up the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Junkrat getting a little bit caught here. His stun goes out onto him. He pops his unstoppable. He's now going to get tossed into the back line of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Nowhere for him to go. He does fall here. Both Zerg waves looking quite healthy.
All right, and we're just going to see both teams push here, but we're going to see Wildheart Gaming say, I don't think so. We're going to come down here and defend this a little bit. So they're going to leave somebody up there to deal with that top Zerg wave alone. Mephisto's going to go up there to help clear that. So we're going to see a 5v3 fight here as we see both teams just try and push onto the first forts of the game.
We have a raid coming in from Tiny Kitty. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great stream. All right, down goes the fort of Wildheart Gaming in the bottom lane. Top lane getting pretty well cleared out here, just losing the front wall.
Yeah, pretty good trade for Phoenix Rising there. You know, it kind of seemed a little wishy-washy there for them. You know, losing Garrosh, but being able to finalize that cap. Just Golden doing a great job trading into that Yrel here. But he's just, you know, he's landing those Qs every time McNulty wants to jump on him. But you know, McNulty can kind of cancel all that healing that Sonya wants to do with a hammer on all those spins.
All right, this is the Bruiser camp getting picked up here by the side of Wildheart Gaming. Siege camp getting picked up on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz at the same time.
Yeah, we're 6 minutes in, and I think we've seen each camp going to be capped twice. I know I mentioned that coming into this game, where like in the lower leagues, the camps are kind of like an afterthought type deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, just something you see here in the higher leagues that there's something that needs done. Gives you the experience, gives you pressure in the lanes, and requires teams to kind of rotate like we're going to see
And
here up in top
speaking
lane.
of experience here, both teams pretty even on XP. Wildheart Gaming just slightly ahead here, but nothing that can't be closed out. Right there. Getting that pick onto Junkrat definitely help him out. Now we're pretty much exactly even on XP. But down the Junkrat on the side of Wildheart Gaming right now. So this is a 3v4 in the top lane. Urel and Jaina down below, cleaning out the camps that were just taken.
All right, and we're going to see, like I said, the 4-man rotation. Golden's hopping on his mount here, probably going to rotate down and just swap sides here.
Power slide going out onto the Garrosh, followed up by the silence once again from the Stukov, and he's just trapped underneath these towers, taking damage, and he falls here. ETC looking for more, trying to stop the rest of the members from backing up, but they are into... Out comes a power slide. Greymane going in to try and get the finish, and we have the face melt connecting onto AoE, and he does manage to get picked off here. Loop is getting quite low, and he's going to fall for that kill. Level 10's now online for the side of Wildheart Gaming. A 2-for-1 in that fight.
Yeah, what a crazy trade there, and unfortunately Lupus didn't have that Q off cooldown to get under there and just ate one too many tower shots there. But again, this is something else you see in these higher leagues where, you know, you see the teams swap lanes in these 2-lane maps. The offlaners go to the opposite lane after the first objective here, where most teams just kind of, they leave the one-on-one up top and don't necessarily even want to deal with it. It's like, you know, your offlaner needs to win, and that's it. They're kind of on their own island there.
All right, Sonya down here popping her ultimate, Wrath of the Berserker, and the rest of Wildheart Gaming going for the rotation onto her. You see the Cursed Bullet go out, but that doesn't quite connect, and Sonya now spinning to win on the back line. We need some CC on her if she's ever going to go down, because otherwise she just keeps spinning and healing up. There we go, slide silence, and she's going to get picked off. Here's the Garrosh looking to try and get the counter pick. Durance comes out, connects onto the Stukov. He uses his Gladiator's Medallion, going to walk away. Stale while Listen comes out, catches the Deckard in the mosh after he wakes up from that, but unfortunately team not around to follow up on the damage. They're going to get the pick onto the Garrosh though. Rest of the teammates of Phoenix Rising Topaz on the run now. Deckard seems to be the next target here, or AoE rules as he comes back from his shade as Mephisto. ETC looking to cap this bottom point. Maybe a boss call potentially here. And that's exactly what's going on. Junkrat dropping down his traps for zoning. And Greymane, this is like one of the best things about having Greymane is he just shreds through camps and bosses. So even though death timers are quite low, his damage on these objectives so powerful.
Yeah, we said with a Greymane, you can just say, "Oh, I think they're on the boss," and by the time you even head there, that thing's already done. And just see Garrosh kind of making a misrotation there and get blown up. Golden's kind of grab vision, but he's gonna sneak out of there before he is next to fall. As we see the points get captured, bottom for Phoenix Rising as they clear this boss here and just continue to soak top for McNulty.
Yeah, this boss pushing bottom now. We have the silence come out from the Stukov, catch the Mephisto for a moment here. It's got about a quarter of its health left as the channel goes for the Zerg wave. We're currently sitting at about 75% for Wildheart Gaming and climbing.
Yep, 13's just about online here for Wildheart Gaming. Let's see if they try and make a push here. In the bottom, I think that's just kind of where they're going to have to go. They're going to have to defend here. But we might see a flip onto McNulty there in the top, but nope, he's going to be able to get out of there. And Garrosh is heading back down bottom.
Yeah, big wave here for Wildheart Gaming. Not too much for the URL to clear up top, so she's going to be able to get that out and maybe come back. But here we see the power slide and the concussion mine being used by Junkrat, catching the Mephisto out of position, and he does fall.
Yeah, that's the hard part about Mephisto is just, you know, into a Junkrat and an ETC where you kind of have to hide where you're blinking from, because if not, they're going to be able to throw a trap down, they're going to be able to throw a mine down and really get you out of position and stun you.
Absolutely.
Where you have to come back.
Sieging going on now on this bottom keep. Garrosh taking quite a bit of damage, looking to step up and get a toss onto him, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. They are now looking to take down this keep as I got the front wall down. Everyone quite healthy on the side of Wildheart Gaming. Mephisto back up. Out comes the Durance, but the Unstoppable is used by Greymane. He rolls on out of there, is going to survive just fine. And they do manage to secure that bottom keep on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Phoenix Rising Topaz still not quite that level 13. We can't pause.
Threat eliminated.
Yeah, I can't communicate. There we go.
Yeah.
Headset issues happens to the best of us. I made sure myself that I plugged my headset in before the cast tonight, because that's happened to me quite a few times. All right, so as we see in this pause here, we're going to see Wildheart Gaming rotate back up. McNulty did a great job pushing out this top lane before rotating down their bottom. So it looks like they're going to get the second fort down. Phoenix Rising isn't down and out of it yet. I mean, they're going to be down just a fort structure-wise. They were leading this match up until that last push there to get that bottom one there. I think they just kind of maybe have to try and get a pick or two and then get some camps and just kind of try and just swing, the map pressure back in their favor.
Yeah, it's always, Brax is one of the more difficult maps to come back on, especially once your forts are down, because you don't have that structure to kind of fall back to get healed up from the fountain and contest on point again. Especially now that Wildheart Gaming has opened up the bottom lane and they're going to have Kata spawning the entire time.
But yeah, I mean, just the soak coming out. Sonya is, having a little hard time into this URL here. Probably having to join the team fights a little bit more often than the URL has to. About 4K down in soak. Only one death though, so they're not missing that much. But Sonya has the top hero damage on the side of Phoenix Rising at the moment.
They're going to pick up this bruiser camp on the side of Wildheart Gaming. It looks like Phoenix Rising Topaz kind of positioning around their bruiser camp and watching for the invade, but not necessarily wanting to take the fight until they have that level 13. That is now up and available for them here, so they could see a fight happening here on equal talent tiers, and if anything, that's something that Phoenix Rising Topaz wants right now. So they are going to look for that here. ETC getting stunned by the Sonya with a spear, and now they're just backing up, realizing, you know what, maybe not the best idea to be taking a fight on equal talent tiers. We are ahead right now. We can just chill, look to get level 16s, and then go for the fight.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things you see up here in the higher divisions, that concentration and that split second proper decision making there. I think most teams probably would have tried to invade there and maybe swing the loss in their favor here, one way or another, depending on the team fight.
Sonya a little bit overextended in the top lane right now, but her team kind of around, keeping eyes on the siege camp that's right below her and the rotation if they were going to make it. They've started this camp up now. Again, they are still on equal talent tiers. Level 16's not quite hit by Wildheart Gaming, but going to be hit first by Wildheart Gaming. Camp goes over to the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. That's going to be a little bit of pressure onto this top lane fort. And objective coming up in another 20 seconds here.
Yep, just the safety clear here, and both teams just doing a great job just checking bushes and trying to safety rotate together. But we're going to see maybe an invade here onto the bot camp. We're going to see Garrosh go up, step up for the Q and the toss. They get Junkrat moved out of the way. We got the Encore coming out, getting the reset there. On that mosh pit, we're going to see all the ultimates up here, but they're going to forego this, even talent here, not wanting to fight this. 16s is online. We may see the counter engage here in the rotation back down.
Yeah, that was Phoenix Rising Topaz attempt at getting in a team fight while they were on equal talent tiers. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out for them here. 16s are now up and available on the side of Wildheart Gaming. We're going to see the aggressive rotation. Actually, they're going for that boss. Lupus set up in the bush to catch anyone coming in, and Junkrat already setting up his traps to zone off the point as well.
Yeah, this boss 100-0 in about 5.5 seconds there with that Greymane and that Junkrat, just being able to do so much damage there. So now that's something Phoenix Rising has to deal with here. They're going to cap that one just to hold it while they clear this here a little bit. But we're going to have a camp pushing bottom almost done there. Not going to make it all the way to the wall here as we see Wildheart Gaming try to get on the flank here and win this team fight. Red 16.
Yeah, here's the aggressive rotation again. Level 16 is not up for Phoenix Rising Topaz. ETC getting chunked down quite a bit though, and now way separated from his teammate. Sonya chasing him down. We're going to see the Garrosh fall on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. Mosh comes out from the ETC just to try and keep himself alive as Sonya chases him down. And now AoE Rules getting in a little bit of a tricky situation here. The root silence from Stukov connecting onto him, and he does fall as well. 2 members down now on the side of Phoenix Rising Topaz. ETC able to back up and get that top from the fountain tap from the top fort. And a 3rd kill picked here onto the Sonya.
Yep, and they're going to finish channeling this objective here with enough try and get down this wall, maybe the keep here. Phoenix Rising is pre-16, so death timers aren't that long yet. We're going to see them push in here, but this is unfortunately the lane where the objective Zerg Wave is going to be pushing. So any picks here, I think, might be detrimental to Phoenix Rising Topaz.
Yeah, level 16 still not up and available for Phoenix Rising Topaz. So this is going to be a really difficult defense for them here. Down a talent tier, 100% Zerg Wave heading straight to their core this time.
All right, and let's see if we can maybe catch a 16 or win a team fight here down a talent tier as the Zerg Wave approaches.
All right, the chase is on here. Phoenix Rising Topaz trying to get the pick before the Zerg Wave is on their core. Didn't quite work out. They're almost to level 16, but not quite there yet. Tons of potions set up by the Deckard, though, and those are big pots coming out. So they might be able to sustain themselves through the defense here. Here comes Endurance connecting onto 3 members of Wildheart Gaming. Down goes Greymane. Loop is getting quite low. Stay a while and listen coming out, connecting onto 3 members of Wildheart Gaming, and they find the second kill onto the ETC. Now looking to get Dope Monster as Garrosh chases him down here, lands the toss. Rest of the team cleaning up the core, and what a great core defense from Phoenix Rising Topaz. Finally have those level 16s now, and can maybe look to get something going here for them. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit tricky for them to find their way back to winning this game, as they're going to have those constant cata pressure in the top and bottom lanes now. So it's like they're going to get picks and everything, but are they going to be able to find the value that they need to get structures and equalize those katas that are spawning?
Yeah, but that was a great turn coming out there by AoE rolls there to kind of lock down the ETC and the Greymane to kind of get all that poke damage down. But like you said, they're going to try and paint this map red as best as they can, and I'm going to guess maybe push as hard as they can bot lane to maybe get that keep wall and that keep down to at least open up a win condition if they can win a fight pre-20 or post-20 here.
Does look like they're going to rotate up here to top fort, maybe try to find some picks. They need to be careful. They're fighting underneath a fort here, which means that they're going to be taking a bit of damage from that. Unfortunately, not able to find anything here. Level 19 just hit on the side of Wildheart Gaming, so they're going to be hitting those level 20 power spike before Phoenix Rising Topaz. See, this is what's so difficult, is when you're down your 2 keeps, you just end up running around and taking all the camps. It doesn't really close the XP gap, doesn't really leave your lanes in any better of a position, because Jaina's having to back to clear up katas now, and here comes the invade by Wildheart Gaming onto this bruiser camp. Phoenix Rising Topaz stepping off, letting them cap that as they are aware they don't have all their members here in time to contest it.
Yeah, because like you said, the vision there, they're pretty much down a person to make sure that they keep their core healthy as it can be. But they're going to have to, like, they can soak when it gets back to the core here, but they're going to have to step out here and try and cap this objective, because, you know, this next objective, if it goes in favor of Wildheart Gaming, could be the end of the game.
And they need to find this fight before level 20s are hit as well. And I think that's what we're going to see happen here. Garrosh mounted up, walking and running towards Wildheart Gaming. We have the Ellie out on to the ETC, slowing him, trying to get that distance close, but he power slides out of there. That level 20 is getting really close now on the side of Wildheart Gaming, and they want that. They also have to worry about the bruiser camp that is pushing in bottom, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, that's heading there right now. They're going to have to send somebody back, so it's going to be a 5v4 here on that boss. They may just try and chunk this boss out here, but Lindsay Lucas, he does have the mosh pit available, so he's going to probably slide in here and try and catch that mosh pit if at all possible. But Deckard does have the sleep for that. The sleep gets going to get canceled there. Garrosh is going to go down. Deckard throwing Qs to try and get themselves out into safety, but Brawlhalla is just doing their best to keep on that Deckard. We're going to see the boss go over on the side of Wildheart Gaming. AoE is trying to do as much as possible. They're going to catch AoE rolls in that mosh pit there, and we're going to see them run back, but this bruiser camp is just doing as much as possible, and we're going to see the GGs coming out here.
I think that boss call was just like a last-ditch effort from Phoenix Rising Topaz, trying to get some more pressure in the lanes and actually get something going for them. Unfortunately, just not going to work out, being down that level 20 talent tier, and all members of Wildheart Gaming catching them on the point there. Game number 2 going over to Wildheart Gaming's, finishing out the series 2-0. GGs and well played.
Yeah, what a great series. I mean, it was a 2-0. It was a domination in favor of Wildheart Gaming, but I think Phoenix Rising kept in those games. I mean, like you said, Braxis, a little bit of a snowbally map, can't do much certain times, which is one of the reasons I dislike that map, because it feels like you're just fighting an uphill battle majority of the game.
I'm not sure if maybe Phoenix Rising Topaz should have potentially just pushed structures when they got those kills defending their core. I mean, their bottom lane was already pushed in all the way to the wall of Wildheart Gaming, but instead they ended up just going around taking all the camps, which got nothing done for them. Gave them a little bit of XP maybe, but they weren't able to take top forward off of those camps. They weren't able to find kills on the members of Wildheart Gaming still left up. So I don't know. Hard to say.
Yeah, it's Deckard's one of those healers. Like I said, on the point control maps, it is pretty good when you have the time to set up. But in a lot of those rotations on the camps, ETC, Junkrat, Greymane, they were able to just get picks. And the Deckard, if he can throw Qs, but just all that damage coming out onto one particular target just kind of led to a bunch of picks that led them to fight, down a member, and I think it just kind of snowballed from there.
We do have the captain of Wildheart Gaming in lobby 1 of the NGS channel if we want to hop in there for the interview. Hello, GG's, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
We're just gonna wait for Dax to join us. There we go. This is my second time casting you guys. You guys played on Sunday as well, right? And both times pulling out the 2-0 sweep.
All right, then you're our lucky charm.
Yeah, maybe. Let's talk a little bit about your bans and map choices here. You guys opting to bring us to Braxis Holdout. Did you guys play this one on Sunday?
Maybe. I'd have to.
It's been so long.
I think we did.
I was like, I'm having a little bit of deja vu. I think they played this on Sunday and did the whole let's send everyone top at the beginning. But is this just one of those maps you guys favor now? Like, is this the map that you guys always pull out when you have to choose maps here?
Kind of a revealing a lot by saying this, but I guess we've picked it every time. I think that the answer there is definitely clear cut for other teams that scout us or whatnot. But yeah, we like Braxis. I think of all the maps, from Storm League to competitive play or team play, Braxis is like the worst map in Storm League. It's horrible. It's very poorly designed, but in a team environment, it's actually a very strategic map. So we like that. We like maps that, really require team play. You know what I mean? So like it's not a good map to play when you're just playing with like random people or whatnot. It's a really bad map. But for all the reasons that it's bad in Storm League, those are the same reasons it's actually good in competitive.
Dax, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just want to go back to game 1. Just you grabbing that Illidan. Now, is that something you'd like to take into the URL, or just how their team comp was forming? Like, not a ton of hard CC for the Illidan that you just knew you could just kind of wreak havoc in some of those team fights.
Well, I got a little bit of grief from my team. I pretty much take whatever offlane I want, but they were not so thrilled with the Illidan pick, and I told them that it was actually a good pick there. The reason it's a good pick there is Yrel is very good at double soaking, right? Like, she's going to go top mid, just back and forth. She'll use a fair amount of mana, and she's very unkillable. So it's really important to take a hero that can either match that, but we ban Zool, so there's like not a lot of double soakers that are competitive in that way, or somebody with a global. So the picks kind of boil down at that point to like Dahaka or Illidan. Dahaka, I think, is a little bit weak right now, and I'm a better Illidan than I am a Dahaka. So I thought I could give something in that situation for my team that the Yrel couldn't. The two situations didn't quite work was early in the game, Yrel was top lane. We just dinged 10, and I hunted in, but I hunted a little bit late on the white main. And I think it caused Lupus to take a lot of damage. I'll watch this later, but that ideally is like a clear 5v4, force a fight bottom lane and get a big advantage off of that. That didn't happen. It was a little bit slow. I was a little bit too deep, and it caused us to actually, we were down a bit in the middle game. And then another situation where it probably looked like a really reckless hunt, where I hunted a Johanna. That was only to join the team. It was like the closest one I could click, because again, Yrel was like very split far from us, so we could, and that was when we had control of the bottom tower, with a hope that we could force another advantageous fight. But so anyway, so the roundabout answer is Illidan offers a few things that very few other heroes offer. I'm a better Dahaka, and I think Illidan's better than Dahaka right now as far as strength. So that's why the pick seemed good to me. Also, Orphea Lunara is kind of like not a lot of yeah. I mean, I think Dax. I don't know if you said this or Jazz, but like not a lot of hard CC.
Mhm.
It seemed like relatively safe for me. So so I thought I had like the early game to mid game is like very clear cut. You like soak a lot. Illidan's not quite as good at wave clear URL, but I still was actually beating the URL in rotation. I think I think the URL should beat the Illidan rotation a little bit. So I think that was like, yeah, just I think I played a little bit better to be honest. But the reality is the game turns and Towers of Doom is a very late game map. You always play for like the later altars, and I think late game URL is like outclassed by Illidan, both in team fights and the global advantage. So yeah, that was kind of like the idea behind the pick. If I didn't pick Illidan though, I would have gone with Blaze because Blaze has great wave clear and Bunker's really good against the poisons and stuff. So it was between those two picks to be honest. I think both are really good picks there.
No, I really enjoyed you grabbing the Illidan there because it gave you, like, showed the viewers that there's more than just your standard off laners to go against a URL. And we were looking at the stats at the end, and you did out soak her, out siege damage her. You did really well in the matchup.
Thank you. Well, one other note about that actually, the other like this wouldn't I don't think most people would take this hero there, but the other pick that's actually outstanding is double supporting a Brightwing there, and just playing top lane and then globaling in with the same idea where your L is top, you like force bottom because double support's really good against Lunara and their damage was very slow. So that would have been a fantastic pick as well. It also gives you with like our damage with the Chromie Rainer, we kind of want to like chunk them, you know. So we want these longer fights, and double support does really well in that situation. The only problem is Brightwing can't double soak, so you lose too much in the early game by not being able to like rotate to middle. You know, yeah. As far as those unconventional heroes, there's a lot of like good picks in that spot.
Looking at game number 2 there, Dope Master on the Stukov. I gotta kind of hand it to him. Every single time a power slide went out, there was a silence immediately following up. Have you guys been practicing the ETC Stukov together, or is this just something you guys are very comfortable on and have to fall back onto?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as practice is concerned, we wish we were scrimming a bit more. We've had a couple, like we've had a lot of matches lately, and because we're only segmenting a few nights to play HOTS, if we have a match, it means we don't have a scrim. But Dopey he's new to healing as far as his like main role, but I think there's a few heroes he plays like phenomenally, and Stukov is clearly one of them. I think Stukov is like pretty good in the meta, but it's his comfort. So the roundabout answer is I think Dobby's just a really good player, and we have practiced a bit of Stukov, and yeah, he's I'll watch the game back myself, but I'm pretty sure that like a lot of our kills were because of a good slide by Lupus identifying a situation, and then Dopey being able to be like, hey, I'm gonna follow this up.
Yeah, or even managing to land the root silences. I saw that go out several times. One of the funnest things about playing Stukov is you can set up a lot of kills with that root into the silence. So it was fun to watch him play. He did really well. So pass on my, congrats to him.
I will. Dopey's good. He's getting better with other healers, but there's a few that I think he's already like top level. Stukov is like very clearly he's a very Stukov. Much better Stukov than me, I can tell you.
Well, let's get into shout-outs. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out before we wrap up the interview here?
Sure. So shout out to you guys for casting. We love the casted games, and you guys have now casted, Jazz, you specifically, this started the second game, so looking forward to watching it back. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to the other team. We've scrimmed AoE rules, like those guys a fair amount, so they're one of our. I guess we haven't played them recently, but we had played them quite a lot, so we're like roughly familiar with them. So some of the bands, for example, were like more aims, like teams specific.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm a little bit familiar with AoE rules because I've been casting some scrims and stuff that he's playing in, and I knew that he likes playing Vol a lot, and you guys took away that, and the Sylvanas as well, and you took away that, so...
Yeah. Well, it's the kind of thing, like, he's obviously very, very good at those heroes, right? So, like, whenever you see, whenever someone's like, really, you don't want, like, a real match, you don't want them to play their best heroes. But, so anyway, so shout out to them. I'm sure we're going to scrim them soon. And then lastly, shout out to my team, Brown Bala, he streams, check out his stream, Tempest, Lupus, and Dopey. It's been, we're very excited and heroic. We think we're putting together a pretty good season, and we're hopeful because we just want to keep getting better.
All right, well, we're going to call it here, but congrats on the win. I can't wait to see where Wildheart Gaming goes this season of NGS. Casting these last 2 games, I may be secretly cheering you guys on a little bit.
Oh, no. You don't want to buy us faster, though.
Yeah.
No. But
At least you
GG's.
say that.
GG's.
Thank you.
Good luck. See you guys next time if I get to pick up another one of your games.
Alrighty, well, hey, have a good night, and thanks again.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yep, see ya.
Bye.
All right, just a moment here. I'm going to give Dax a call back. I think that he's probably going to look to be getting out of here and get into another co-cast with Weenus. Hey, Dax.
Hey.
I'll let you take off because I know you want to get into casting with Weenus, and that game's starting in 2 minutes here. So just thank you for joining me tonight for co-casting. I really, really appreciate it. Always is great to have you on to help me out with these matches. Where can people find you? Just before.
Yep, best place to find me is probably just on Twitter or in the Discord. Dax in the Discords, Dax_Hots on Twitter. But thanks for having me. Always a pleasure casting with you, Jazzy, and hope to see you again.
All right, bye, Dax. Thank you.
See ya.
Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for casting for me tonight. But I'm gonna keep streaming. I'll have to restart just to get rid of the delay. And I'm not sure if there's some people playing Among Us. I might go play that, but if not, maybe some Battlegrounds. I have a feeling it's going to be Battlegrounds and then some Among Us later on tonight. So let me restart stream, and we'll go to our ending screen. I am casting again tomorrow. Division B West Roll 1 Esports versus Cosmos. At 7:30 p.m. PT, so if you want to catch that, that'll be going on then. If you enjoy casted Heroes of the Storm games, make sure to hit that follow button. I'm typically casting almost every night of the week right now, not so much playing the game. And yeah, I appreciate those that did follow and the raids and stuff that were going on tonight. And thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm just going to restart stream here, and I'll see you back in a moment.